What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dudes and dudettes? Welcome back to another episode of your potentially favorite Nigerian podcast. Bear with me, your host, General Prime. It's a beautiful Sunday today at the park. I hope everybody's chilling, everybody's resting, getting ready for World War III, because it's becoming increasingly inevitable at this point. I mean, look at what happened last week in California. Like it was like a bomb went off, like a nuclear bomb went off in the whole of California, and entire neighborhoods, entire livelihoods, entire years of planning, entire years of gathering, entire years of hard work and perseverance and sacrifices, and just things that people have done with their lives. The entirety of it just got wiped out, just gone like that. And there are lessons to learn from it. Obviously, what has happened has happened. There's nothing else. There's nothing like what are we going to do? The most we can do is to rebuild, is to learn from the mistakes, learn from the flaws, learn from what has happened, and then just simply rebuild. But it isn't enough to just rebuild. We have to learn. We have to actually, those lessons that we have learned, we have to actually talk about them, because there are lessons that we've actually learned from that. The first lesson I want to talk about today, something that has actually been on my mind for thousands of years. It has been on my mind for thousands of years, man. Insurance is a scam. The first person that cooked up this idea of insurance, that came up with this idea of insurance, give me a certain amount of money concerning a certain situation that you might eventually find yourself in the future. And when you find yourself in that situation in that future, and you happen to not have enough money to bail yourself out, all the money that you've been giving to me over the years, I'll give it back to you so that you can help yourself to sort out that situation. I mean, that person must have been a genius, right? But the first person that agreed to it had to have been a fool, because why would you there are certain things that you just hear, or you just hear, or you see, or you just perceive, or you learn about, and you're like, why would anybody even think? Why would anybody even agree, or why would anybody even pay attention to this? Can't you people see that this does not make any sense? Really, can't you people see that this, for example, now, I think I've given this example before in the past. There are some of these YouTube sponsored ads that content creators on YouTube make. For example, established titles. I don't know if anybody can remember established titles. The one where they say you have to pay a certain amount of money for you to become a lord in one country in Europe, like that. How really? If it's too good to be true, it probably is. It probably is not true, because it doesn't make any sense. Do you understand? The most recent one that is going on now is honey. The first time I heard about honey, right? The Google extension that helps you get discounts on your online shopping. I was like, how does that even work? I don't know. Maybe I'm just so ignorant, or I'm too ignorant to fall for their quote unquote intelligent tricks. I was like, how does that even work? That does not even make any sense. Why would anybody want to fall for that kind of trick? There are so many things that have happened online on YouTube. It's when you just hear them, you're like, wow, anybody that falls for this, you even deserve to fall for it. So it's the same thing with insurance, right? It's the same thing with insurance. All these insurance companies, now that this whole situation that is going on in California, this whole situation that is going on right now in California is happening. You mean to tell me that insurance companies are trying to scam people trying to say that people don't have fire insurance, trying to say, like, just trying to like make sure that they don't, because thousands of houses have been destroyed in California. Thousands of property has been destroyed. A lot of people have died. Thousands of cars have been burnt. Like, the kind of damage that, I mean, I'm sure everybody has seen the seen videos online, right? I'm sure everybody have seen footages of it. I'm sure everybody has like everybody's aware of the situation going on in California. It literally looks as if a bomb, like an actual nuclear bomb, went off in California. I'm sure everybody has seen it, right? And that means that insurance companies, you don't be for them, because they are going to end up losing a shit ton of money, and they don't want to lose money. That's why they're trying to like swindle people out of insurance claims. That's why they're trying to like scam people. They don't want to pay off. They don't want to pay up, rather. It's sad, man. It's so fucking despicable that the insurance companies are doing this kind of thing. People are literally suffering. People have lost their livelihoods. People are, all the sacrifices, all the compromises that people made over the years to have what they had, just went up in flames like that, because of the incompetence of the people in power. And I saw it, like, I was watching a video yesterday of somebody that was going around California videoing and showing everybody, just making videos of what is going on in real time. Like, you can see buildings on fire in real time. You can see houses, like power lines on the floor. Like, so many things happened. So many things are still currently happening. A lot of people have died. I saw a video where a woman was in her apartment, like there was fire inside her house, and she was like trying to break the window too. Like, she was inside the house and the house was on fire. She was trying to break the window to escape. Like, I'm sure that person, I doubt she made it out alive. So, but then again, why is it that a lot of houses in California, in fact, why is it that a lot of houses here, wait, let me make my point first of all, before I jump onto something else. Why is it that a lot of houses in California, in America in general, are poorly built? If you notice, like, from the footage, from the videos that I watched yesterday, lots of houses were burnt down, but their chimneys were still standing, because chimneys are made of bricks, right? And bricks are fire repellents. They are fire resistant. They are highly resistant to fire. So why is it that a lot of houses in America are made with cheap material, like wood, plywood, paper in some cases, like cardboard paper in some cases, and any little thing they just burn down like house of cards? If you, as in, like, California has always been a place where wildfires happen, occur all the time. So why is it that they don't build their houses with like bricks? I don't understand. Like, what kind of incompetence? Listen, bro, sometimes I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I don't understand human psychology sometimes. Like, you know that this place that you're living in, right? There is always a high possibility that there are fire outbreaks all the time, and there are no preparations, no fire hydrants on the streets. Like, all the water that is supposed to be available, like no water. Like, I don't understand, man. The governor of California, what is that his name, Gavin Newsom, like, what have you been doing? What have you been doing? As in, I always ask this question, and I will continue to ask this question. Like, if you find yourself as the leader of a country or a state or a community, like, wouldn't it be in your best interest to make the place that you're the leader of the best place possible? Like what is the question I want to ask, the question that I want to actually really understand is, like, what is the come on, I don't tire, man. I don't tire. If I tell you, say I never tire, I don't tire. Humanity don't tire me. Like, what is the gain of being a corrupt politician or a corrupt leader. Like, what do you gain from being a corrupt leader? What do these people gain from just neglecting their jobs, from just not putting in efforts, from from not doing what they've been voted in to do? Like, what is the point? You have power, right? There's this documentary I was watching the other day, called 2073, about how humanity eventually, like, we've been setting up, it's like a domino effect, and we've been setting it up for a very long time. Our incompetency, we've been setting up a lot of it for a very long time, and eventually it's going to lead us to a dystopian future where there will be where most countries will be tyrannical, authoritarian. There will be no freedom. There will be most places will be surveyed by cameras and drones, and it will be a police state. Like, everything will just be destroyed. There will be no freedom. There will be no future. There will be no prospects. Everything will just be it will just be fucked up. A lot of countries now, do you know that 73%, is it 70% of countries in the world are under authoritarian regime? 70%. We only have 30% of as in, what will I even call it, manageable democracy in the world today, around the world. 70% of the rest of the world is under some form of authoritarian regime, which is just scary. So now my question is, when 100% of the whole world now is like under big brother's control, right? Like, what is the point? Like, what will you enjoy from it? Like, what is the gain? I'm seated at the park right now, right? Obviously, like, still very early in the morning. I just decided to come out because I like coming out early in the morning, actually, just to, like, just to chill with nature. Everything is just beautiful, right? The trees are green, birds, I don't know if you can hear the birds like singing. Everything is just quiet. Everywhere is just cool. Like, wouldn't you rather have this than have a world where, like, everybody is just so antagonistic towards each other, everybody is struggling to survive, like we're in a police state, like everybody is just under surveillance and control and subversion and tyranny and just hatred and vileness and despicableness and just hate. Like, bro, man, isn't that too much? Like, why can't everybody just, I always ask this question, man, why can't everybody just chill, man, just relax? There is enough for everybody. There is, as in, our planet is bountiful. Our planet is bountiful. There is quite literally, in every sense of the word of what I am about to say now, like, there is no other planet like our planet. I mean, if there is, show me. Like, there are billions of planets in our in our galaxy, and there are billions and billions of even more planets in the universe. But yet, we always talk about the potential. We always talk about, like, we always speculate, but we still haven't found any planets that is a one-to-one mirror depiction or rendition of our own that we can go to. This is the only one that we have, and if we fuck it up, we are fucked up for life. We really did have it all. We really do have it all, but for some strange reason, we are trying our best. Like, we are waking up every day with one thing in mind, and that thing is, like, we want to destroy our planet. God, like, we want to do everything we can to make sure that this lovely planet that we have, it gets destroyed. And for the love of me, I cannot understand how, and I cannot understand why we're so hell-bent on being destructive. It beats me. It beats the fuck out of me. So now, the second thing I learned from this this situation going on in California, the second thing I learned, because there's this video I saw of an 80-year-old man that was crying and talking about how he lost everything, and it just dawned on me how easy it is to lose everything that one has been working hard for literally all their life, and why we should not be too attached to the things of this world. Basically, it's like this man lost his house, lost his cars, lost all of his property, and now also the insurance companies are trying to like scam the fuck out of him, and he's 80 years old, and like, what are you going to do at 80? You understand? So it just made me, as in what I learned from that situation is that don't be too attached to things. Like you see people like in this rat race that we are running every day. You see people striving, struggling, doing everything that they can to make this money. People will go the extra mile. People will do so extreme things to like just to make money. And at the end of the day, nobody, not a single person, has left this planet with the money that they made. You might be buried in a golden casket. There are some people in Nigeria that they bury them in their cars, like in the expensive cars. There are very opulent people that they bury them in very luxurious graves. Imagine the oxymoronic nature of that statement. A luxurious grave. Like, what is luxurious about a grave, my nigga? Look at how oxymoronic that statement sounds. A luxurious grave. There are people like that exist too. There are people that kick themselves in luxury, in opulence, in fashion, in like fucking jewelry and all of this nonsense that don't mean anything. They literally don't mean anything. They are all this. We only assigned value to them. We only assigned importance to them. Do you know that in the past, Napoleon? Everybody knows about Napoleon. Do you know aluminum spoons, like just normal stainless steel spoons that we use every day? He used to showcase his aluminum spoons to his guests at the dining table. Like, his guests had gold spoons, they had gold cutleries. No, not cutleries, cutlery. There are no S's in cutleries. Like, his guests had actual 24 karat gold cutlery. But the value he assigned to aluminum was more than the value that they gave to the gold cutlery that they had. And so he used to show off his normal gold as an aluminum cutlery. He used to show it off to his guests. But today, every household has like fucking aluminum spoons in their kitchen. So we assign importance to all these things, but it doesn't actually necessarily mean that they actually have value. We give them value. There's this book I was reading one time called Utopia. I've forgotten the author of the book. It was talking about how in the land, there's a place called Utopia where there is peace, there is prosperity. Most of the people there are philosophers. They don't find value in the things that we in this our world find value in. Like, in fact, their servants and their children play with gold, to the point where when visitors from another land came to their land and saw that their servants were their slaves and their servants were wearing gold, the visitors were like, why are these people wearing, why is that your servants are wearing gold and you people are just wearing simple linen cloths? And they were like, why would we make a big deal out of gold? Gold is nothing. You understand? We shouldn't assign value to all these nonsense things. Like, what we should assign value to are actual, philosophical thoughts, like actual logic and things that will make society progress and all of that stuff. Like, that was one of the most interesting books I read last year. But the point I'm trying to make is that we give value to the wrong things. We prop up the wrong things. We elevate the wrong things. We hail and we congratulate and we cheer for things that don't do much for us. That is the point I'm trying to make. And I don't understand. Like, I don't know why I'm always like, I don't know how often I'll continue to talk about this kind of situation going on in this our pale blue dots. These are planets. I don't know how much more I'll continue to wax poetical of this nonsense. But yet again, I don't know if I'll ever be able to stop, because this is something that everybody needs to like really like I have to like stuff it into your brain so that you understand what I'm trying to say. Everything that we are fighting for today, everything that we are trying to get, all the, like, you see people on social media today doing obscene things all in the name of content creation. Like, there's this video I saw of this girl that had, like, I don't even know, maybe about 20 dogs. And I asked myself, like, why would somebody want to have 20 dogs? Like, first of all, the smell, bro. Like, first of all, the smell, all in the name of content creation. Like, 20 dogs sleeping on the same bed with her. Like, what the fuck, man? I love dogs, I love animals, but not to that extent. Not to that extent. You see, like, people will do, and I don't know if I should blame them. I don't know if I should, like, I don't know if it's something that I should assign blame to. Because yes, I understand that life is hard. Do you understand? Life is hard. Everybody's just trying to look for a way to survive, and it's becoming increasingly difficult for people to like make it in life this time around. It's becoming harder and harder for people to, people with families, people that they're taking care of. Man, life is becoming increasingly difficult. But to what end? Like, do you actually really have to like sell your soul for it? Like, do you actually have to like belittle yourself just to make ends meet? Like, I don't see somebody, like, I don't see a street sweeper as belittling themselves. That is somebody that is working hard for their money. I don't see somebody that cleans the toilets. I don't see a waiter or a waitress. I don't see like a cleaner. I don't see people that like actually that do actual hard jobs. I don't see that as belittling themselves. But people that go out of their way and to like just disrespect themselves, like to, I don't know, all in the name of content creation. You see people doing obscene things online, all in the name of quote unquote being creative. That's not being creative, man. There are 1,001 ways that one can be creative. Not mukbang, not fucking, like, I mean, we've seen the social media hysteria now, like the TikTok mentality and all of that stuff that people do, all in the name of what? Chasing the bag, chasing the money. People will go to great lengths. People will cheat, people will steal, people will kill. I mean, I'm just like repeating what everybody knows, but I'm just trying to like bring it back to the surface of everybody's consciousness, to try to reinform everybody that this kind of lifestyle is not good. Like, we are heading towards a cliff, and all of us are going to fall if we don't change, if we don't like change course, if we don't course correct. All of us are going to die, me included, if we don't change, man. If we don't change. You see people giving weird advices on social media. You see people doing, like, social media has become this cesspool of, like, it used to be this, the intention was for it to be a tool to get more people connected, to first of all find people with like minds. But now it seems that it has been hijacked by bad actors. It seems it has been hijacked by people with nefarious intent. Since it seems like it's been hijacked by people that just want to watch the world burn. I gave an analogy in my former episode about the pine cone tree. The pine tree. Pine cone or pine? I gave an analogy about the oak tree, and I was talking about how like millions of pine cones will drop from the oak tree, right? But only a minuscule few will germinate and then turn into another like oak tree, right? And I feel like that's just the same thing with humanity. Not everybody is going to not everybody is going to prosper in life. Not everybody's, I mean, a lot of people are going to try. There is no harm in trying, but not everybody is going to like make it in life. That is just a sad truth. That is just nature for you. But that doesn't mean that, as in, like, once again, I'm saying this, like, I'm like repeating it, like, that doesn't mean that you have to be, I don't know, you have to do it foolishly. Is that the right word to use? That doesn't mean that you have to like, as in belittle. Like I always say, belittle yourself. But I'm just one voice. First of all, my voice is not loud. It's not anywhere near anything resembling loud enough. Nobody listens to what I'm saying. In fact, I feel like this is just me. I feel like this podcast of mine has turned into more of like an audio diary of, or an audio what do I even call itself, journal of, my experiences and my observations and my opinions on things that go on in life, on things that go on in every facet of life. So yeah, of course, obviously not like I am just one voice, and not a lot of people are going to like listen to this, which I have already made my peace with. But at least I'm not going to stop talking about how ridiculous I find the current state of the world to be. I just find it odd. But it doesn't mean that there aren't positive things that are going on, though. It doesn't mean that there are not good things that are happening around the world. I feel like I believe that by this time next week, the new president, Donald Trump, would have been inaugurated as the new president of the United States, and I am hopeful that from there, a lot of things will start to get repaired. A lot of things will start to get sorted out. A lot of things will start to get focused on and like talked about, not even only talked about, like solved. A lot of problems will be solved, hopefully. All my fingers and toes are crossed, like hopefully. And yeah, that's not about that, man. I can't help but hope that this year already has been has already been, that it's like this is not, first of all, this is not the first time it's happening. Like every time we enter a new year, it's always as if like there is a competition for who can do the most damage, who can cause like the most damage, or who can cause the most uproar, who can cause the most pandemonium, who can bring in the most fear, the earliest, the fastest, into the new year. And so this year alone, we've had like two terrorist attacks. One that happened in front of Trump Tower, and the other one that happened, like I saw the video of, and bro, like I was saying before about how we shouldn't get too attached to things that we strive all our lives for in this world, because they can be taken away in an instant. They can be taken away without like what is the word I'm trying to look for now, without notice, without inquiry, without permission. Like the things that we give too much value to can just be ripped away from us without any no excuse, no permission, nothing. So with that video of, like, I saw the video of the guy in the truck that ran over a lot of people in New Orleans. There was one of the girls that died. She was there celebrating her 18th birthday. There was the clip of her before the incident. Like, she was just like, celebrating. She was having fun. She was just being gleeful. She was just being like your average 18-year-old, just like, absorbing everything that was happening around her. And she couldn't have imagined that seconds from then that her life would just end abruptly. She couldn't have imagined that. And like, I have been predisposed to so much insanity and so much death and so much negativity and so much vileness in this world that the idea of death, and the idea of like losing one's life at any given moment has been so ingrained and so embedded in my psyche that, like, I not even only in my psyche, like in my consciousness and in my subconsciousness, like it's been so ingrained in it that I think of it all the time. Do you understand? Like, for example, now, right now, I am like, when I no, let me just let me make my point first. It's like when I find myself, sometimes I find that things are going too well for me. Like when I find myself in a situation where things are going like too weirdly well for me, like things are just going too smoothly for my liking. Like like I am no longer naive enough to like it or to be comfortable with it when things are going well. I don't know if anybody understands what I'm saying. Like when things are going well, I always ask myself, like, what's something is wrong somewhere for things to be going this well in my life. And so I try to, I'm not going to say that I try to self sabotage myself or get in my own way, but I always slow down to really observe what is going on, to really try to you know think of where something can go wrong. You understand? And try my best to, I know that what I'm doing is futile. I know that what I'm doing, like, death can come for you. Like, you can be prepared, you can try your best to prepare for death as best as you can, but it will come for you in a way that you would never have expected. That is just how tricky it is. That is just how funny death is. You can do you see people that spend all their lives eating healthy, exercising, dieting properly, walking, being active, and all of a sudden they just die of brain hemorrhage. All of a sudden they get run over by a bus. You see people that smoke all their lives, they are couch potatoes, they neglect themselves, they live to be 80 years old. Like, it's fun. Life is like, this is what makes life this is what makes life interesting. Do you understand? So yes, while I am aware of the fact that death can come for you at any time, I also try to also keep it in my consciousness. And so, back to my point, this girl, as gleeful as she was, never would have thought in her wildest dream that moments from then her life would just end abruptly. Her life would just go like that. I'm sure she had plans afterwards. I'm sure she had other things that she would have intended to do. That's why sometimes, me, if procrastination was a superpower, I think I'll be like the super procrastinator, because that is procrastination is my superpower. Like, if I was a superpower, if I was a superhero and procrastination was my superpower, and I had to save somebody from I had to save somebody from a speeding car, or from something trying to fall on them or something like that. I don't okay, the only way that can work would be if somebody who has procrastination as their superpower also has to be clairvoyant, because then if you're clairvoyant, you know when this thing is going to happen. And so you'd have to, even though you're going to procrastinate, eventually you're going to have to, without any other choice, infuse yourself in that situation where you have to save the person's life. I don't know if anybody understands what I'm trying to say, but the point I'm trying to make is that me, I'm a procrastinator. I procrastinate a lot, and it's one of my vices. It's one of my flaws, and it's something that I want to try my best to change, even though it's a normal human behavior. So that's why when I see people, when I see people living their lives to the fullest, while me, I'm just I'm just in bed doom scrolling, and then I see people living their lives, and then I come in contact with someone that loses their life while while living it at the fullest. It's I know I just feel guilty for wasting time, at that moment, I feel guilty. And I always feel like, oh, look at you wasting your life doing nothing with it. Meanwhile, this person's life just ended, and I'm sure they would wish more than anything to have a little bit more time to do more with their lives. But now it has ended. Now their life has been cut short, and you're just here doom scrolling. So I always feel guilty when that happens to me. I always feel guilty when I see people, when I see genuinely intelligent and creative people losing their lives. People with like light in their eyes, people with fire in their souls, people with intentions that they want to do, but then they end up not being able to do it because of one thing or the other, or because they lose their lives or something like that. It just makes me feel sad, because there are people wasting their lives right now doing nothing with it, and it's unfair that there are other people who actually want to do things with their life but are unable to. I don't know if anybody understands what I'm saying. My sister told me that my podcast is boring because I always talk about things that everybody already knows about. And I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's the case. I don't know. I actually don't know, but I don't know but I'm just trying to I'm sure everybody knows about most of these things that I talk about, right? But nobody actually brings it to their consciousness. Nobody floats it. Do you understand? Nobody talks about it. Everybody just keeps it at the back of their mind. And when you keep something at the back of your mind, you don't really pay that much attention to it. So my goal is to bring it to everybody's attention so that people will be aware of it. And when you're aware of something, you take caution and then you change. Do you understand? That is what I'm trying to do. I might be repeating what everybody already knows about, but do with that what you will. So yeah, that's all I have to say about the LA fires going on right now. I only hope that people that have been affected by it, I don't even know how this is going to go. First, I already talked about the insurance companies that are trying to scam people. I don't know, it's not one neighborhood that got burnt down. I'm sure everybody has seen the clips now, from even the aerial view of the whole situation. I'm sure people have seen it. Bro, fucking I'm not joking when I say it was a fucking nuclear bomb that went off. I'm not joking, man. So I'm just wondering, how is LA now going to be like Detroit? Do you understand? Is LA now going to be abandoned and just going to be, this is another thing. This is to show you how quickly civilizations can end. This is to show you how, and to tell you how quickly civilizations can end. They never would have imagined that something of that nature was about to happen. And of course, there are some dumb idiots that are saying that it's because during the Golden Globes, people were making fun of God, and so God now decided to punish innocent people by destroying their livelihood, by destroying their homes, by destroying their lives, because some out of touch with reality elites made fun of him at the Golden Globes. Both the people that have that kind of mentality, both the gods that they're talking about, all of you are mad. All of them are mad, because that does not even make any iota of sense. But then again, it's just kind of scary how quickly civilizations can end. LA itself, it has always been this leftist semblance of a utopia where most of their worldviews are liberal in nature, and I don't understand. They're not really in touch with reality. They are not in touch with reality at all. And so when they are not in touch with reality, and so when they now get faced with reality, when reality hits them in the face, they don't know how to react to it. They actually don't know how to react to it. And so they start to panic. They start to run around. It's like headless chickens just running around. They don't know what to do. So now I'm now wondering how LA is going to be rebuilt, how much money it's going to take to rebuild LA, how people are going to move on from this, how people are going to be compensated, like what is actually going to happen moving on from now. Like I would like to visit this story, like maybe probably at the end of the year, hopefully, all fingers crossed, if I'm still alive at that point, by that time. I would like to visit this story again to know how far, because okay, yeah, I mean, I actually don't have to wait, because I can actually go back to, when Hawaii was it burned or flooded? Yeah, when Hawaii was flooded. Was it actually flooded, or was it actually? Yeah, it was burnt. Yeah, Hawaii actually had the same situation last year, and then the government gave the Hawaiians $750 each. God, this world is funny, sha. So anyways, yeah, I can go back and to see how the people in Hawaii are actually, are actually going about with, are actually trying to like mitigate their own problem. Yeah, and see if it's going to be the same with what is actually happening in LA, right, in California right now. So what else was I trying to talk about? I don't know how the Californians are going to like solve their problem. I don't know if their government is competent enough to like get them out of this mess. I don't know how they're going to like, I don't know how it's going to go, but one thing I hope that right now that they have come to terms with reality. I hope that right now their leftists and their neoliberal kind of mentality, now this fire has like cleansed it, and I hope that right now people would understand that, oh bro, there are, as in, for society to function properly, like there are things that have to be put in place for society to function properly. You don't have to, society does not have to function on wishful thinking. Society does not have to function on hugs and kisses and live and let live and let's love one another and being gay and trans and LGBTQIA plus and all of that nonsense, all of that bullshit that cannot account for anything in life. That's not what makes society to function. Society functions properly when intelligent, strong, hardworking, capable people are in power. I hope that right now they've understood that if you don't have a strong leader, if you don't have somebody that has the concern of the people at heart, you're fucked, you're toast, you're literal toast. You're actual toast. You're going to be burnt toast. That's all, man. That's all I have to say. I don't know if there's any other thing that I can think of, or any other points that I had in mind. That I don't think I have any other remaining points in mind. So yeah, man, that's that about that. Thank you all for chilling with me. I hope that we've learned from these unfortunate events that happened in California. I hope we've learned from it. I hope the Californians also have learned from it, and if it repeats itself next year or even any other year again, then I know that these people are fools. But yeah, I hope that everybody has learned from it. I hope that we've taken one or two things out of everything that I've said today. It's very easy for everything that we strive for and everything that we work for to be taken away from us without any, without any announcements, without any excuses, without any, like, it's very easy we shouldn't attach ourselves so much to all these things that we strive for, because they can be taken away from us. And what matters the most, like I always say, every time I always say it, what matters the most is not the material things, not the cars, not the career, not the big houses. Imagine Mel Gibson was on Joe Rogan's show, and then his house in California burnt down. It's like, you see Porsche, like you see very beautiful houses just burnt down. You see a lot of beautiful cars burnt down. You see Lamborghinis, like so many things, man. A lot of people's property just got burnt, just got decimated that day. So all those things at the end of the day don't matter. What matters is the human life. What matters is the biological, like the biologics of it all. What matters is us, me and you, all of us. That is what matters. If we can just, I feel like the true nature of this universe, like the true purpose of this universe, is something so stupid and something as trivial as us just looking after one another, us just taking care and caring for one another. That is just what it is. And I feel like if everybody in this planet can just come to terms with that uniformly at the same time, I think that's when the universe will just end. That's when the show will stop. So what matters the most is us, all of us. The material things don't matter. We can get them back. That's what everybody should know. We can get them back, honestly speaking. So if there's any way that you can help with the situation going on right now, do the best that you can and help as much as you can. Help anybody that you can. Help those victims. Help those people that have been affected by it. And everything will eventually. Yeah, so thank you guys for chilling with me. Thank you for giving me your listening ears. Thank you if you somehow were able to listen to this point, just let me know by leaving your comments below. And also don't forget to like and also subscribe if you want to see, or if you want to hear more of this from me. And yeah, that's that about that, man. I'll talk to you guys later. All right, bye everybody.